What we talked about tonight was primarily to go through and inform the public of what we've done to get to this point through the various studies that have been completed prior to this. And the next thing that we talked about was we talked about some of the changes that were made. And specifically the changes involved, some were response to comments from the public that we heard before, specifically trying to avoid the Baptist church at the south end of the project. Other things were in response to changes in project conditions. One of the things that we tried to do in addition to avoid the Baptist church was avoid relocating the Amtrak station. Originally, the project could only be built in parts because the funding wasn't all in place. And one of the biggest cost benefits that we had was to move the Amtrak station. Now that the project has been awarded a Tiger grant from the federal government, the funding is in place now to build it all at one time. So instead of spending millions of dollars to move the Amtrak station, we can just go over the top of the railroad tracks and we can leave the Amtrak station in place. So one of the changes in alignment was to avoid going through the Amtrak station property so that we could leave that particular site in place. The last change that we made, and it was in part in response to trying to avoid the Amtrak station, was to keep Maricopa-Castro Grande Highway near State Route 347, essentially in its current location and in its current configuration. One lane in each direction with the center turn lane. We're adding some sidewalks to that, some bike lanes to it, but keeping it there allowed us to keep the Amtrak station in place. When we did that, we had to split the one long bridge that we had before into two separate bridges. So now instead of one bridge, there'll be two. The current schedule has construction starting in the fall of 17, and we expect construction to be completed within about a year and a half after that time. The turnout tonight was terrific. It was many more people than had come during the study phase of the project. As a matter of fact, I would guess, just estimating, it was 2 to 3 times as many people came to the meeting tonight as we'd had in any